Hello, and welcome to Adam with Lucas. So today we're going to be talking about Moza, and in particular we're going to talk about their Nano SE Extendable Gimbal Selfie. Yes, people, never take a shaky video on your extended selfie stick. This thing is designed for people out there who want to take amazing photos, amazing videos, but don't want to have to put in the work of holding that stick steady, because sometimes it likes to wobble, or at least that's what this thing is designed for. We won't know if it's any good until the very end. So in this video, we're going to be doing a hands-on with the box, quick unboxing and first impressions on said gimbal. After that, I'm going to be putting this bad boy to the at-home with Lucas test to figure out, is this something you should buy or maybe skip altogether? I'm here for you, so you don't have to waste your time buying and returning. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it.
Alright, let's take a look at this bad boy right quick. So at the top left, you have the name of the company, Moza, with their cool little logo around there. Here is an image of what's to come in the box. This is the Nano SE Extended Selfie Gimbal. That is what's up, people. Alright, let's take a look at the side over here. So very minimal is what is actually in the box. Wow, it looks like you have a scan for everything. There is a folded up version of the image that was on the front. Here it looks like there's a pull tab. Very nice. I love a good pull tab. Yeah, look right there. Let's see how well this actually works. Ah! It did not do anything. That is hilarious. All right, there is the gimbal all nicely packed in there. Let's go ahead and pull that out. All right, it comes with a USB-C. That is very cool. That is exactly what you want to see. Take a look at the creme de la creme. Long press for 3 seconds. Detachable Bluetooth remote. Cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna press this for 3 seconds. Hold on, let's first take off the little... There we go. All right. So let's press this for 3 seconds and see what happens. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that is very cool. Look at that. All right. And that looks like it might be the Bluetooth. Yes, that's for Bluetooth there. Okay, so it's powered on technically. Now let's see. Okay, so I'm manually pulling this out. All right. Very cool. And then there we go. Okay, so it extends out from there. Okay, so here are the controls. You got the plus, the minus, you got the multi-function button, and then you have something down there. That's the record button. Ooh, that is nice. Okay, so this is all a soft touch plastic around here. And then you have your buttons right here. So here we go. We have the phone camera direction, so that's supposed to go that way. It's showing. Let's see what else we got going on here. Wow, install. Okay, cool. So this expands out like that. Very nice. Okay, so I'm gonna just quickly throw in my test phone, which I use all the time for just quick tests. This is my old Note 3. Okay, so that's really, really interesting. It has, okay, so it locks. There it is. Okay, so you have the lock and then you have the unlock right there, and it just spins freely, and then you click it into the lock function there. Now, I am wondering what exactly, how this thing starts and stops. So I'm wondering if there's an app that has to be activated to get the gimbal to fully activate. And then this, of course, is a tripod. This thing has just got so many different features. Okay, that's interesting. So you have to extend it out that far just to get the tripod to fully activate. So that's interesting. Okay, so if it's not all the way out, so if it's down like this, it's not going to work. So you have to pull it out to there. It locks into place there, and then you can go ahead and tripod this thing up. Okay, and then that comes back down. So the handle is actually the legs of the tripod. So it's like a 2-in-1 down here. Very interesting. I'm liking this thing a lot, and I haven't even really gotten into it. There is the name right there once again. Very nicely done. Simple. Okay, so this folds back down. So you can have this thing sort of tilted halfway. If you want to do something like that. Okay, all right. This thing has a lot of possibilities. Now it's all going to come down to the user interface and how well the user interface works and how well obviously all of these buttons work. So this is going to really come down to software. The hardware, let's go ahead and walk around the hardware. So this is made out of a very nice, very pleasant on the hand plastic. It's very soft touch. And then as you get up here, this might be some kind of metal right here. I'm not quite sure. It feels a little bit colder, but plastics nowadays are easily trick us. So this is soft touch here. Oh, that's the detachable remote. That is the remote. Okay, wow. I need to find something fast to show you just how small this is. That is quite funny right there. Detachable remote. I'm guessing if you popped this open, you would have one of those standard batteries, those circle ones. Wow, that is really, really funny. All right, let's see how easy it is to put back in. Not bad. That's really simple. I like that. Wow. Okay, so it really does just pop right back in. Let's see. I pushed it one more time. All right, let's see if we can get this thing to activate. I'm pushing it again. No, it's not activated. Oh, yes it is. Oh, it's activated. Okay, so... oh, okay. So... push it one more time. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it is activated now. No, now it's deactivated. Okay, so deactivated. Push it one more time. And now it's activated and it's trying to do its gimbal work. Okay, there it goes. Now it's working. Okay, so it's basically locked onto this right here. There it is. Cool. All right. Wow, I like that. Push it one more time and it's back off. Okay, cool. That's real simple. You push that, power on, push it again, power back off. At least that's what I know right now. I haven't gotten into the instructions or anything like that. Okay, let's see how easy it is to get the phone out. I do not believe this is going to be one-handed. You will have to use two hands. Pull your... oh, that's not bad. Okay, so let's go ahead and walk around this thing and talk about the first impressions. So first impressions are this thing is built really, really well. I won't know how well this is built until I get into it. This is definitely made out of some very thin but strong metal. So that's really nice. It's lightweight metal. It feels like it's coming out of there pretty solid. A little bit of wobble down here at the bottom, but that might not be a problem at all. So yeah, let's go ahead and walk around this and talk about the material and everything. So I'm liking the look. The look is really cool. The way that they have this set up here, it seems like whoever designed this actually put a little bit of work into it and thought about what they're doing. All right, so continuing around here, that's where you charge it up right there. A little bit more information about this thing. And then of course, those are the indicator lights showing you how much battery this thing has. So it's almost fully charged. So that's a quick way to see the battery on this bad boy. This hinge in here is pretty nice. It feels really solid. And of course you can tighten it up if it starts to loosen up over time. So that's really nice. This feature is cool because you can lock it into place and then you can unlock it and it goes into gimbal mode, I would imagine, and then you can lock it back up. The way that it folds down is very, very nice. It feels very simple and straightforward. Yeah, so first impressions, I'm impressed. I like this thing. I cannot wait to get it reviewed. So let's continue on, people. Okay, so I'm actually recording this on an old iPhone SE because it's the only device I could get to work. My Note 20 Ultra will not work with this software, so I'm super, super annoyed with that. Everything I read online everyone is complaining. They're saying that the software does not work. You have to activate something and activation does not work. So I'm literally left with this old iPhone SE. So bear with me. So I'm going to be doing this stabilization test real quick. I'm going to just move my arm like I'm doing right now. I'm literally going to be moving my arm from left to right as far as I can. There we go. It's all the way to the right, all the way to the left. And then I'm going to just do some quick jumping. And then just some quick shaking of my hand and moving it all over the place just to see how stable this actually ends up looking. One thing I am noticing is that it does not like to stay like this. It likes to kind of tilt a little bit. So if you look at it while it's on the gimbal, it doesn't look like it's completely level. So there's something a little bit odd about it. And when I did put my Note 20 Ultra in there and slap it into the mount, it seemed to dip down because the camera bump and the camera setup is just too heavy for this thing. So take that into consideration. If you're using a big 6-inch phone with a giant camera and it's heavy, this thing's going to get bogged down. The motor in it is just not powerful enough. But yeah, so here we go. I'm going to shake my hand all over the place, and we're going to test. I guess what it's trying to do is stay like this and not move left and right as your hand moves all over the place. But yeah, so that's first test. Okay, let's talk about this as a selfie stick. So I'm going to hold my arm out. This is basically, I'll point it down a little bit. This is basically as far away as I can get from my person. So there's a little understanding of the selfie stick. Then of course I can flip it into portrait mode, which allows me to do a little bit more distance. And then of course you can point it up or point it more straight down. So you can go out like that. But it seems like when you go out like this, it starts to act up and get very strange. Okay, so let's talk about how this thing actually holds the phone and how it keeps it stable. So it seems like it holds the phone a little bit down and to the left. So I don't know why it's doing it. I'll try to level it, and then I'll notice that the left side of the phone, it doesn't matter what phone you have in there either, the left side of the phone just starts to dip down a little bit to the left, and it's very confusing. I haven't looked at a lot of the footage, so I'm not sure if the footage looks fine, but that's something to take note of. Also, this thing is not very solid, or it's not very strong, I should say, and it seems like it is a little bit weak. So there you go. You can actually see it right there. It's dipping a little bit down. It's very strange. So I'm not a super expert at gimbals, but this one just seems like it's a little bit off, and it seems like it needs a little bit of a tweak here or there. But yeah, that's one thing I noticed that's very strange, is it's dipping down to the left. Okay, let's talk about the button controls. So the button controls are actually really nice. Once you get it paired up with your device, the button controls just work like they should. You hit the record button, and then on the screen here, you're going to see it start to record. You hit the stop button, and it stops recording. The cool thing is you can hit this M button right here, and when you push the M button, boom, it goes into portrait mode, which is so cool. And then you press it again and it goes back into landscape mode. And then you have your ability to zoom, so you can zoom in. So you hold down the zoom button and boom, it zooms in. And then you hold down the minus button, the zoom out button, and then it'll zoom all the way out. So that's actually really cool. I like that a lot. And then of course you can fully remove it from its holster. Now you can hold the remote as far away as the Bluetooth will allow, so probably 20 to 33 feet, I would imagine. This thing is very small. It's a little bit bigger than a quarter. Definitely easy to lose, so take note of that. Okay, let's talk about this thing as an actual gimbal. I think it does its job. It's just not the best out there. I feel like the phone never really locks into one position and then stays there. As you could see right here, I'm fully articulating, and then of course if you go too far, it just completely flips around on you. But there we go. That's almost sideways right there. So there, now it's freaking out. So it seems like it's gonna do a decent job of being a gimbal. It's just not the best out there, and you're definitely going to have to use it for yourself and then figure out exactly how it's going to work for you. But you can see that there's not a lot of real estate here for this gimbal to have power and ability, and I think it uses a little bit of the phone's built-in stabilization. So okay, here we go with test number 2. I'm going to just run around my office and my house, and we're going to test how smooth it is. I'm not going to try to stabilize it with my hand. I'm just going to move like I normally would, and we'll just see how well it actually stays stable. All right, so there we go with the stabilization test. Alright, so I've been using this thing long enough that I think I have a full comprehensive review, and I'm going to start off by saying I think this thing is almost perfect. I like the hardware. The hardware is very, very nice. It's built exactly as you'd want it to be. The only thing that's a little bit funny is that you're actually holding the bottom of a tripod, and that's where it gets a little bit silly, especially when this thing opens up and you have this sort of sitting there and you have to sort of like maneuver it up just to get the tripod to activate. So that's kind of where this thing is at. It's like almost perfect, but there's just a few things along the way that make you go, okay, this thing is not a final product. It's not the finished fit and finish that you actually really want, but it's built very, very solid. I have to give it a 5-star for build quality. I think it's absolutely amazing. When you hold it in your hand, when you use it, you're like, yeah, they put in a lot of thought, a lot of effort, and it's really good. Now let's talk about the gimbal. So the gimbal inside of here is not the best, and I think that the software that runs the hardware is just off. I think it can be tweaked a little bit, and with that tweaking, I think this thing could be very, very nice. When you put your phone in here, if it's too heavy, it tends to tilt a little bit to the left, which is very strange. So instead of your phone looking like it's completely straight, and even this will not be straight, it'll be tilted a little bit, and no matter how you move your hand around, it just never seems to be completely level, which is really, really annoying and kind of a real downfall. And then the other thing is that this has to run off of software. So you can't just open this thing up, throw a GoPro in here, and have a gimbal that works perfectly. Nope, you have to run the software for the gimbal to work 100%, and it's really just too bad. It's kind of like they have this really, really solid piece of hardware here, but the only way to utilize it is a kind of clunky, kind of terrible piece of software, and the software does not work with Android phones as of right now. So my my Note 20 Ultra, I could not get it to work no matter how much I tried. It kept saying it needed an activation code. I kept putting in my email. It would send the code to my email. I would put the code into the app and it would just crash. And everything I read online, same thing was happening. So I had to grab this super old iPhone SE right here, and that was the only way I could comfortably film and use this thing, and it just wasn't the best. It was not as butter smooth as I would have liked. I feel like this gimbal has way more potential, but it's just not optimized. There's just something off about it. The remote is actually really cool. I like this a lot. It's very nice that you can just pull it out, pop it back in whenever you want. So the remote worked well. I like the fact that you can just simply tap right here and have this thing turn into portrait, and then tap it again and have it turn into landscape. So that's really cool. The zoom in feature worked really well. The record button, everything worked perfectly. I really like the fact that once you got your phone paired up with the gimbal, then the remote control just worked seamlessly. So you didn't have to pair this up separately, which was a big thumbs up. I like that a lot. The other thing that really annoyed me was this just is too small and too tight right here. So I felt like I was having to like really wrench this thing open and wrench my phone in. One thing that's really funny is you can put an iPhone in here and then you can literally just slide it right on out. So that's kind of a pro tip if you have a small phone, maybe even a larger phone, it'll work with it. I'll try my Note 3. It's really when you deal with bigger devices that you start to get annoyed. So we'll go ahead and slide. Yeah, it's very difficult to slide that out because the bigger the device, the more pressure is put on the spring inside of here. And it's just annoying. I wish it would do one pull for each side so you could just single pull. So that could be overhauled as well, this portion here. I never felt like my phone was gonna fall, so big thumbs up for how safe it is in there. So you're not gonna have to worry about your phone falling. The selfie stick portion of this, the extension was just decent. I felt like it could have extended a little bit more. I don't know. It's just, I wish it was so much better. I thought it was going to be just phenomenal. But yeah, so all in all, I'm going to say that if you know what you're buying, you're gonna like it. It's not the best out there. There's probably other versions of this out there that are way better. But in my experience, I'm gonna give this a solid 4 out of 5 stars. I'm gonna say that if they update the software on the Android phone and they update the software, the firmware inside of here, and they do a little bit of tweaking, I may be coming back and calling this a 5-star device at some point in the future. But yeah, there you go.
All right, there you go. That's the Moza Nano SE. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely clickety-clack that like button. And if you want to join the At Home Lucas family and you want to be a part of this crew, hit that subscribe button. Every time I get a subscriber, I get a boost to make more and more videos. And it's because of you guys, I surpassed 3K. Yes, people, going strong, on my way to 4K, but I need your help. Yes, you right there. Tell your friends, tell your family, this guy's on YouTube. They should go subscribe and watch my channel. But as always, I thank you for watching each and every one of my videos, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.